Hey everyone, it's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, and interviews. Today's Thursday, June 29th. Hope you're well. And in this video, I've got an extremely and serious, important question for you today. And it's going to be, are you prepared for 100K plus Bitcoin, maybe even 200K plus Bitcoin? This is something I brought up to Pow Group private members, and I wanted to do a public video about this because it's extremely important that we prepare ourselves now financially, mentally, psychologically, emotionally, because this is something that I think has a very high chance of playing out over the next couple of years. And then we're going to discuss all of what we can do to prepare for this in the video, because there's going to be greed, there's going to be FOMO, there's going to be all sorts of emotions that people are going to be feeling. And the best thing we can do is prepare ourselves now versus, trying to make it up as we go and decide on the fly. But before we get to it, make sure to smash the like, help support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. Less than 1,000 views before I get to 500,000 on the channel. So first and foremost, thank you so much. I really do love each and every one of you who supported me along the way. It definitely wasn't easy, and the amount of support that I've gotten over the years has been overwhelming. So very grateful and thankful for the community. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. But moving on, so breaking news, Fidelity rejoins the rush to spot Bitcoin ETF with fresh filing. We know that Fidelity already had been rejected in the past, so this is their second attempt. And there's no shortage of companies that are filing right now. We know Grayscale is currently suing the SEC for its denial of its spot Bitcoin ETF, that it was looking to convert its trust into a spot Bitcoin ETF. And then we've got BlackRock also filing. And the big thing with this is, and ARK Invest as well with Cathie Wood, the big thing here though is we're starting to see a lot of the same verbiage and information and this new feature, which is going to be a surveillance sharing agreement in its proposal, and BlackRock made this agreement with the NASDAQ. So this is something that could really push this along, and there's been a lot of speculation that Grayscale could potentially win the lawsuit against the SEC with regards to the fight with regards to its Bitcoin ETF getting rejected. And if that were to happen, maybe there's a lot of speculation that Gary Gensler, the head of the SEC, may use this as a way to basically sweep it under the rug and get rid of that publicity, right? That loss that they could incur. And then they'll approve a slew of other ETFs as well, just so that, all the headlines are bullish, and they're starting to forget about Gary Gensler and this lawsuit that he potentially could lose with Grayscale and the SEC, right? So this could be something that we could see. We could see multiple ETFs get approved. It's not likely just going to be one, right? There's likely going to be several, if not, a dozen, half a dozen, or a dozen in the future, maybe more. And BlackRock itself has about 10 trillion under assets under management. So imagine Fidelity with 4 trillion. Like, we're talking, 20 to 30 to 50 trillion dollars just in some of these asset managers alone. And it's been said that BlackRock, if it used 0.3% of its capital, it could buy all Bitcoin and all XRP that are available on all exchanges. That's just BlackRock. Now imagine if we get mom and pop, right? If we get retail buying an ETF, if we get all these asset managers joining the rush as well, there really is no, the sky's the limit. Like, there's really no telling on how far this price can go. We know that there's only 21 million Bitcoin. And again, we have the halving coming up here in 2024, which is basically going to cut the reward in half. So the miners are going to get half the reward for every block solved, right? And then it's going to make it more scarce. It's going to be a supply and demand, right? It's going to be a supply shock, and it's going to send the price absolutely parabolic, in my opinion. And then speaking of Gary Gensler, the Blockchain Association says that legally Gensler has to step back, and it's just a matter of time before we get laws and guidelines and regulations from Congress. And this could all play, to the bullish momentum, right? And this could be a major momentum shift back to the bulls, and we could see just absolute FOMO. We could see blue sky breakout. We could see new all-time highs, and we really haven't even seen, the rest of the world. We know that, I think the EU, or I can't remember. It was might have been the UK. I think they just drafted some crypto legislation as well, and the king just had to sign it. So we're starting to see, and usually it's never the US first, right? The US is never first. They're never last, and but the thing is they have the GDP, they have the economy, they're the biggest economy in the world, so they don't need to be first. They definitely don't want to be last, but they don't need to be first, because when they decide to do something, they can leapfrog every other economy in the world because they have the biggest economy to be able to do that, right? And it really is the biggest the best economy in the world where everybody wants to thrive in, right? But yeah, we could see, like I said, 100K, 200K plus Bitcoin. If we take a look at the Fear and Greed Index, we're only sitting at 54 right now on the crypto fear and greed. And then if we take a look at stocks, we're in extreme greed. So we could be heading that way as well soon for crypto. We know that the broader market and the S&P 500 have sort of been a leading indicator. The broader market has been stronger, and then Bitcoin usually follows. It wasn't that way from March 2020. Bitcoin and tech was leading, but now it's been the broader market, and the S&P 500 has been holding up a lot better because of big tech and things like that. But crypto, with FTX and all the the scandals that have been going on, that really hurt crypto and set everything back quite a bit. But right now, we are in Bitcoin season. So we could see Bitcoin continue to outperform the rest of the market. There's actually a daily bull flag on watch right now. As long as 28,922 holds that 0.32 fib, then it's a potential for a daily bull flag. In order to confirm the bull flag, we need to break 31,441, the high of the bounce. But to negate it, we need to lose 28,922. If we lose that support, then we will no longer expect this bullish continuation pattern to play out. But if we break resistance there at 31,441 and we confirm the daily bull flag, then we're targeting 36,700. And you just take the measured move, you go high to low, low to the high, move it out to the 0.32 fib, and there's your measured move, right? And then you just take the Fibonacci, go from the low to the high of the bounce. That gives you your 0.32 fib. And like I said, anything over that is a daily bull flag. But if we zoom out here to the monthly time frame, if we take a look at what we could potentially see using the all-time high to the low here of this bear market, if this is our low here at 15,473, if we take a look at our fib extension levels, if we hit the 2.618 extension, that would bring us to about 156K Bitcoin. If we hit the 3.618 extension, that would bring us to 210K Bitcoin. And Cathie Wood and ARK Invest have been on record to say that they expect $1 million Bitcoin, in the next 5 to 10 years potentially. And there's some that are calling for, 100, 200K plus Bitcoin. I think that it's very doable, but you have to ask yourself, are you okay? This is the post that I made in the Power Group private community. I said, I want to make this comment to help everyone prepare for a massive Bitcoin rally over the next couple of years. I personally, I hold 0 Bitcoin. And you might be different. You might have a ton of Bitcoin. You might have half a Bitcoin. You might have a few Bitcoin. You might have 0 Bitcoin like me. But you need to ask yourself, are you okay with watching Bitcoin going potentially to 100 to 200K per coin? Because that is very possible over the next couple of years. For context, though, that is only about 3.33x or 6.66x respectively. Meaning, if you put fresh $1,000 into Bitcoin right now at this price, which we know MicroStrategy just bought like another, I can't remember, it was like 300 or $400 million worth, up to like 150 some thousand Bitcoin, which is worth like $4.5 billion, right? Of course, we're not going to be putting that much in, but let's just say, the average investor puts $1,000 into Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes to 100K, that's only just over $3,000 for you, right? Or if it goes to 200K, that's only $6,000. Is that life-changing wealth? You might be okay with that, but everybody's different, right? So, and then some people might put in 100K or, $1 million, right? And then that might, that's a little different, but there's a lot of risk to reward there. And, I'll continue on here, but I personally will not feel FOMO. So fear of missing out is I already made money off of Bitcoin, and I'm going to be sitting on the sidelines realizing that there is better risk versus reward opportunities out there and multiplier effects. You may want to prepare yourself as well for a massive pump. Will you feel FOMO? If you may want to consider adding some to your portfolio before a massive rally happens. If you're not going to feel FOMO, just realize that most altcoins tend to see parabolic moves to the upside after Bitcoin pumps. I personally think that XRP, XLM, Litecoin, Algo, Link, especially a lot of the utility coins and several other coins as well, they will offer more multiplier effects. For example, if XRP hits its 3.618 fib extension, we could see XRP price at $12+. That is about a 25x from current levels. So by that logic, if you put $1,000 into into XRP right now, and it hits its 3.618 fib extension, which Ethereum and Bitcoin already did in the last bull market, so why can't XRP and other coins do the same? If it hits $12+, that's a 25x from current levels. So if you put $1,000 into XRP at this level, that's about $25,000 if we go to the 3.618 at $12. right? And it could even go higher than that. So alt may continue to see downside as well. So patience will be key, especially if Bitcoin starts to pump, because usually when Bitcoin does its retracement, we see it outperform the altcoin market. And then whenever it starts to pull back, that's when we start to see historically altcoins go into alt season and start the massive pump. But preparing now is the best strategy in my opinion, as Bitcoin ETFs could be approved and it will skyrocket the price. And then Fidelity came out today with that news. So Bitcoin and Ethereum already hit its 3.618 fib extension from the top of the 2018 bull market. We use that as our top, and we could easily see XRP and other altcoins do the same. XLM hitting its 3.618 fib extension would bring us to about $3. And here's the charts that I shared with everybody. So you can see here that Stellar, from the high to the low, its 3.618 fib extension would bring us to about $3.72. If it hit its 4.618, that's about $4.75, so just under $5, right? And then if we take a look at the next one here, which is XRP, XRP hitting its 3.618 would be about $12, and its 4.618 would be about $15. And then if we take a look at Litecoin 3.618 would be $1,454. Its 4.618 would be $1,849. So for context, XLM would be about a 36x from here, and Litecoin would be about a 16x. And then, there's just, but again, you have to be patient, right? Because we could see Bitcoin go to, 50 to 100K, maybe even 200K before a lot of the altcoins really start to hit their parabolic moves, right? It's not to say that they won't, because they more than likely will, trend up with the market because the market moves together. But at the end of the day, Bitcoin usually moves first, and a lot of people don't own Bitcoin because it's the barrier of entry, right? It's so expensive. So just taking a look at Bitcoin, right, from the high to the low, same thing we just did with XRP, with Litecoin and XLM. From the high to the low, that gives us our 3.618 fib extension, and look, it hit it right here at the top of the bull market into the end of 2021. So if we hit it on Bitcoin, and then if we bring up Ethereum, and XRP actually surpassed the market cap of Ethereum back in 2018. So it's definitely doable in my opinion. Look at Ethereum. It hit from its top in 2018 to the bottom of the bear market using the fib extension. It hit its 3.618 at 4,800. So again, if Ethereum can do it, if Bitcoin can do it, and if XRP surpassed the market cap of Ethereum back in 2018, why can't it do it over the next couple of years as well? But again, 100K plus Bitcoin is not that much from current levels. Like I said, it's only about a 3x, a little over 3x. If it hits 200K, that's a little over 6x. So again, not that much life-changing wealth. And if we take a look at the weekly time frame, we're starting to see a bull cross on the MACD, the stochastic cross bullish, and we're well above the 10-week moving average. We could even start to see the weekly moving averages see a bull cross, which is massive. Last time that happened, look at the price, went from down in the 3,000 range all the way up to about 70K. Then we had the bear cross of the 50 weekly through the 100 and then 200. And when that happens, when the shorter term is above the longer term, that's very bearish. And then we went down from there as a result. Now we're starting to see these moving averages curl with the shorter below the longer term. And if they cross, that's going to be massively, massively bullish. And speaking of bullish crosses, we had a golden cross as well here on the daily time frame. The last time that happened was back here. Again, price went from around 3,000 all the way up to 70,000. Does past performance equal, future results? Absolutely not. Sorry. And this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. I'll never tell anybody to buy or sell or hold or what to do. This is my own thoughts and opinions and my my charting and my technical analysis. But if you take a look here, we had a golden cross back in February of this year. And again, we're starting to see this momentum start to shift back to the bulls. And again, with all of these companies filing for ETFs, this is really just the tip of the iceberg. And we could see one more flush potentially where these companies and these big corporations and investment firms getting into the space, they want to knock the price down to accumulate more. So they may want to continue to accumulate before we really start to see the reins released from it. But like I said, I'm very bullish on the space long term. I personally already made money with Bitcoin, and I'm not going to be dipping into it until there's 90% correction. And personally, I just don't like the fact that not knowing who created it, right? Satoshi Nakamoto, it said that Homeland Security in the US said they met with the four Satoshis, so it's four people, a group of people, and I just can't imagine investing in something and like holding a lot of money in there, because that's something that they can really use against us at any point, right? Anybody can come out, and what if it was North Korea? What if it was Russia, right? What if it's some terrorist group or something like that? Like, we just don't know. I personally think it was the U.S. government, the NSA, right? Some three-letter agency. And, this was part of the new financial system that they're rolling out. Fed now starting in July. There's so many bullish catalysts coming. We could get stablecoin regulation by the end of the year, and we're already starting to see that across other countries as well. And it's just going to be a domino effect, right? It's game theory playing out. Nobody wants to get left behind, and it's just a matter of time before this industry hits full-blown adoption and critical mass, and we're not even close to that yet. This could be a $100 trillion industry, and we're only a little over $1 trillion. So that's 100x growth from here, right? So again, just to get clear on that. If you want to comment in the comment section below, we can continue the conversation there. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Are you going to feel FOMO? Do you hold Bitcoin? Are you like me? Do you hold zero Bitcoin? Are you focusing more on utility coins and altcoins that are going to offer more multiplier effect? Always love hearing from you. But going to end it there, thanks again for joining us on The Pursuit of Wealth. It's Rod with Power Group. Have a great night. We'll see you on the next video.